just because somebody is telling you to get the Texas license doesn't mean you need to get the Texas license. So if you need help getting started, stay tuned. But first, tales from the field.
So you want to put that tape line right inside the gutter so it doesn't level and bounce on you. And then you can finish the other side with your measurements.
Some hard work, not another day's of work. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work, I get off the rock, I move on down. Got to go make.
Hi, my name is Abahi and I am a claims adjuster. If I can help you make money in this very lucrative industry, would you let me? Do you have a claims adjuster license and you haven't worked and you have no experience but you're ready to get started? Well, I've been where you were. When I got my license, I called up my friend who introduced me to the industry and I was like, I got my license, introduced me to the hiring manager and put me to work. But it didn't work out that way. So then I started applying to different jobs and all I kept hearing is you need experience, you need experience, you need experience. But how do I get experience if I don't have experience? So that's what we're going to talk about in this video today. So now, before we get started, some of you be like, oh, well, I may want to be a catastrophe adjuster or auto adjuster, or independent adjuster, or public adjuster. All of those fall under the term claims adjuster. So whatever claims adjusting you want to do, don't pick right now, and especially if you're just getting started. Go ahead and just realize you're trying to be a claims adjuster and you're going to do whatever it takes to get started. So let's talk about how to get experience when you have no experience. First thing you have to do is change your mindset that you're going to be paid to work when you have no experience. I know that's like a cardinal sin, but this job is no different than real estate, being a MD, because they work for free initially, right? They study, they learn, they actually pay to become a doctor, thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars before they can go out to make hundreds of thousands. You've been asked to invest a few thousand to go work, and you don't have to pay to get your experience, or maybe you do have to pay to get your experience. Maybe you're going to job shadow with somebody, or maybe you're going to work for free. You're going to invest your time. That's what you have available. So cut out the Netflix, maybe cut out dating for a night, cut out cooking, shopping. Just cut out areas where you may be wasting time and go use that time to go get training, because nobody wants an untrained doctor. Nobody wants an untrained adjuster. The trouble I see is that people don't want to get trained and they're only willing to train if they're being paid to train. So guess what that means? You may get started easier if you're willing to actually help other people, if you're willing to do some job shadowing, if you're willing to come to training. I call training work. So what I would like to do is I would like to help you get started actually in the next 30 days. I don't know how much you're going to make because I don't know how much you're going to work. But if you come get training, I guarantee that you'll be able to gain experience. Training is your work. So take a few hours each week, 5 to 10, and establish yourself in learning this trade while you are still either working or searching for jobs. That's what I did. When I first got started in this industry, I did Uber and Lyft to help pay for trainings. I did DoorDashes and other gig positions to help pay for certifications, travel. I used some of my savings for it as well. You will make investments, but your biggest investment is going to be the time that you put in. Again, nobody wants an untrained doctor. You need to go out and get training to be able to get your experience, but you have to get over the mindset that you're going to be paid to do it. It just may not happen or start that way. For some people, they do start off on a deployment, but generally your first deployment is going to end within a few months, if not a few weeks, sometimes even a few days. And then you may not get another opportunity before your license expires. If you've been there, type in the comments that, hey, my license lapsed. I know my Texas license lapsed. I never worked a claim for Texas, but I had the Texas license. And also, too, here's a side note. If you don't live in Texas, why are you getting the Texas license? I had 2 young ladies say, oh, well, we live in Georgia, but we got the Texas license. It's so limiting. And so is the Florida license. Georgia gives you your best options, and they're reciprocal with the same states as Texas and Florida. There's only one state that Georgia doesn't hit, and I think it's like Wyoming or Idaho. Just because somebody is telling you to get the Texas license doesn't mean you need to get the Texas license. And I've made videos before that people work and get started in this industry without a license. Stop more focused on the license as much as your experience. I don't care if you were an electrical engineer or worked at Waffle House, you have some related experience to get you into adjusting. I had a call earlier today from a resume that I did, a resume rewrite. Doesn't even know what a claim adjuster does, but he's got the license. That's scary, right? I don't want somebody adjusting my claim and they don't even know what to do. You have to get trained and learn what a claims adjuster does. And you can see that on my IG, what I do when I go out on inspections, when I'm meeting with people. So follow me on IG. There's a link below that I would like to help you get paid in the next 30 days as a claims adjuster, but you have to come to work. Work means spending time in the trainings that I send you to, setting up one-on-one with me so that you can learn how to read policies, so you can learn how to talk about the business, so you can learn how to talk to customers. If you're willing to that, I'd be willing to help you get paid in the next 30 days, but you gotta come to work. So fill out the survey in the description and we'll get started. All right, so in the rest of this video, you're gonna see a few jobs that we found that would be very helpful for somebody coming into this industry. These are a couple of states that are the most popular. They were suggested by the audience. So I would love for you to see that and stay tuned for those jobs. And if you need anything else, look in the description because there are some helpful resources, including free job alerts. They're going to hire you before you're licensed. They just want you to get licensed within 90 days. So it pays $60,000 to $70,000 annually. This says Progressive IT. So if we take a look and see what website this is at, it goes to another ZipRecruiter site. So that says applying on the external site. So now let's take a look at the qualifications that really trip most people up, because the qualifications say bachelor's degree or higher, a combined total of 5 years of work experience or college education. All right, well, if you don't have that, can you still apply? That's a good question to ask yourself. Should you still apply? I talk to a lot of different employers. Sometimes these things don't matter as much as they put them on paper. And if you're good with your resume, then you'll be able to know how to kind of get around the ATS bots that may boot you out. So that's one at $70,000 that says you have to have that type of experience. So let's take it down because some of you are new. Let's take down the salary requirements to 55, which is still above the average earning salary. Now we're looking at, okay, senior property adjuster positions in the field. So these are both, again, we're searching in Alabama. So we have Hoover and we have Hunt, but nobody on the is generally starting as a senior property adjuster position. So it's, you have to keep on looking, right? So you go from senior, you go senior again. This one has the cat in there, and then this one does not. Maybe there's one that's a cat role. Maybe there's one that isn't a cat role. Let's see if they have, trying to see if they have levels of experience. Let's click here and see what the level of experience it is for this senior property one. So now they're asking me if I'm willing to locate, I'm willing to work remotely. All right, so now this is USAA's site. Let's again, let's look at what the bonuses are. So this is job number 3. Two, I'm sorry, job number two. Company vehicle provided, and their cars are nice, so you get a company car. So if you're only making 55,000, but you get a company car paid for when cars are about $50,000 a year in itself, you're almost doubling up, right? So now they said they're looking for experience. So see why it's important. Can like you guys put in there like, yes, I see it in the comments. Let me know you're out there. That you understand that the more experience you have, the more privileges you get. So you get company provided vehicle. Nice. Travelers is a company that does that too. Let's see what this says. This is looks like a little video for world class benefits. Now, the adjuster role is to focus on utilizing technology and desk adjusting for a virtual first approach to inspections and claim handling, and will be responsible for physically inspecting losses within their locally assigned territory. Okay, so it is a field adjuster position. Now, when we drop down, right, the income level, we also looks like it drops down. The requirement to have a bachelor's degree is no longer there. The obligation to have years of experience isn't really that there. Okay, it says minimum, but it's really not, because it says relevant property claims adjusting experience, and I'll show you where you can get relevant property claims adjusting experience even before you're licensed. It does say you should have the ability to travel 50 to 75% of the year. That means you might be home a weekend a month. And that's if you are able to flex that out. You will make your own schedule. But like I know, the holiday just came by. So some people had a few more days. Now, look, they're going to hire you here before you're even licensed. Did you read what this says? If you read that carefully, they're going to hire you before you're licensed. They just want you to get licensed within 90 days. So why would you need to have 2 years of exact claims adjusting positions if they want you to just acquire the state licenses within 90 days of hire? Maybe they just want you to have one license, and then they'll hire you, and then they want you to get more licenses. But it really doesn't say here. And like I've said before, and I do have a video on 6 people that got hired with Allstate without even having a license. There's a lot of flexibility in getting the position. So let's see. When you apply for this position, you will be required to answer some initial questions. That's a personality test. Do not take that lightly. That's a personality test. So this will take approximately 5 minutes, and that means that it's going to make or break you. When I see this, it's telling me the resume probably doesn't matter or have as much weight as we would think it does. They're going to look at this personality test, right? And it says once you begin the questions, you will not be able to finish them at a later time, and you will not be able to change your responses. They're trying to lock you up and throw away the key basically based on what you're going to say. Travelers does this, and if you're not correct, you can't apply again for 6 months. And travelers start at 80 grand. I think you start at 60, but then you go up to 80 after 90 days. That's a big improvement. Okay, but those aren't the only ways to get work. You can have prior desk adjusting experience. I don't know what their codes are here other than ALE. Which is going to be additional living expenses. This could be damage or like water damage. Using claims experience as an Xactimate software. So if you don't have Xactimate, you'll want to figure out how to learn with it. All right, so I think that's enough. Did we get this one pretty good? I'm going to go to the questions here. Preferred experience does say level 1 or 2, but it just says preferred. And C also says preferred currently hold an adjuster license. Only says preferred though. It doesn't say recommended. Oh, you can't see this at the bottom. Maybe we'll see any questions that I didn't answer. There is a public adjuster informational coming up on Tuesday at 5:30. I do recommend, if you're interested in how to start without the licensing, if you want to try to get paid on your claims, you can actually learn how to get paid before you're even licensed, what I love doing. and helping people get there. So you can also attend. There's a lot of different trainings that I go throughout the week. That's why I'm showing this, just to try to show you how dedicated you really have to be when you're becoming an adjuster. Monday is one of my busiest days as far as meeting goes, as far as training goes. We do onboarding on Mondays and Tuesdays too. So for you to get access to that training, it is free to attend the informational. And you just go and you hear what public adjusters do, spend about an hour, maybe less, just depending on which regional manager from our company is talking. But you can learn how to even get paid on your claim, right? $300 to $500 for writing your first claim. How's that sound, right? Sounds good. And you don't even have to be licensed yet. There's also onboarding training that we do on Thursdays, should you choose to become a public adjuster, so that you can learn exactly what steps you need to do next. You get a trainer, you get a sponsor. That way, like, it's not simple. Like, okay, well, who do I ask? We have a whole licensing department at our corporate office that will guide you through like the licensing, if you need a license, if you can exempt from the test, how much the test is, how much the license is, where to get your fingerprints, where to get your background check, how to write your first claim, how to talk about the business. Like, that's what got me going into the public adjusting side, because I was like, wow, they're going to train me. That's all I want. Everybody's talking about experience like we just saw. So that's all they want. So go ahead, take a look at the link below, tinyurl/adjuster information. It's right there at the bottom. All right, my name is Abahi, and I am a claims adjuster. If I can help you make money in this very lucrative industry, would you let me? Talk to you soon.